various challenges that we're presented with the coronavirus have really forced us to make a lot of lifestyle changes. Obviously, the big one I'm referring to in this video is the isolation, the self-isolation, and all the issues around disconnecting from the outside world. Well, we can still be very much connected to the outer world through the internet, phone, all the other various ways of doing that, but many people are resisting this, and I'd like to make a contribution to see the benefits and the obvious opportunities there are for isolation. It's actually a gift, and this gift of isolation is really an opportunity for us to actually go within, to connect with our inner world and discover this rich aliveness that is inside of us. But often we want to avoid or escape or focus on our external world, often just for sensory stimulation. And it's very easy to get on this conveyor belt and this habitual process of actually just running around, this relentless busyness, this kind of continual seeking for stimulation or answers externally, for pleasure, for objects, consumer objects, whatever it is. And we're all doing that periodically, but this is a real moment where you can really see that the pause button has been pressed collectively. And I'm really noticing that it's actually really beautiful to see that people are actually connecting with nature more, and they just seem to have embraced a much slower way of living. And my perception of this in the collective is it actually has made people, in some ways, not completely, but in some ways, actually more happy. It's like there's this less need to rush around, to have this endless things to do list, and to have this continual need to be productive. Obviously there is the need to do that, to finish tasks and so on, but in our lifestyle, in our way we do things here in Australia, it's very much on the go and creating a lot of stress, and a lot of that is unnecessary stress, because a lot of the time we just simply in our sympathetic nervous system when we're doing this, and it's just creating more tension, more stress, and we never feel that we're productive enough. Whereas this isolation process that we're going through is actually helping us to connect with our parasympathetic nervous system. And in this way, we're in a rest and digest place. We're in a place of regeneration, rejuvenation, and we're able to actually blossom, particularly in our inner world, and very importantly, connect with a place of deeper stillness. And this is really what's missing in our lives so much today. And because of the various restrictions and so on, whether I agree or disagree with those, and in the context of freedom and our rights and so on, is a completely separate issue. But the point is that it's actually forced people to just slow down, to create some stillness, and to simply stop and smell the roses. So there have been some very positive things that have come from the restrictions and so on, and it's also been a journey of self-discovery. That's an opportunity there for people, and also to make peace with themselves, because a lot of the time when we're trying to externally stimulate ourselves, and we're actually avoiding connecting with ourselves, we're avoiding ourselves, and we're often doing this subconsciously. Whereas this is an opportunity to really become intimate with who we are, to really get to know our own heart and understand what's going on inside, and to make peace with ourselves. So this we can look at from a positive point of view, in spite of all the economic problems that this is creating and so on, and really discover this silence, this inner silence. And actually from this silence is when many of the problems of our life actually arise. The solutions I'm referring to, that the solutions arise, and that we really feel that we have this connection to this inner guidance, this feeling of being connected to our inner world. And this solution for our problems actually comes internally when we give ourselves the opportunity to do meditation, for reflection, for contemplation, for all these things that are so needed, and yet we really struggle to make time for that in our busy day-to-day life. Well, this is the gift of isolation, and it really is a blessing. And we can really take time to just connect with that stillness, slow everything down, slow the mind down, and realize that all this rumination, all this endless thinking, all this endless thoughts and so on, they really are quite useless and very often creating a lot of inner stress and tension within, which is obviously often reflected in our body itself. And we can simply connect to this, the emptiness, calmness, the stillness, the quiet. And hopefully going forward, this will create a lot of positive changes in our collective psyche and our relationship we have to our mind, and also our lifestyle choices. So thanks for watching. We live in epic times.